Have you ever felt it? That moment in an important conversation where control simply slips through your fingers. You are interrupted, your idea is ignored, and you watch, in silence, as someone else, perhaps not even the most qualified, dominates the room. This silent frustration, the feeling of being a spectator in your own life, is a poison. You try to be the nice guy, the one who doesn't create conflict, but you end up being left behind. And you start to wonder, what do they have that I don't? The answer society gives us is almost always the same. Be taller, more aggressive, more extroverted. It is the myth of brute force. But figures like Shelby, from Peaky Blinders, show us a different truth, a deeper truth about the nature of power. He is rarely the loudest in the room. Even so, no one doubts who is in command. This video is not about imitating a fictional character. It is about decoding the psychology he represents. We will dismantle, piece by piece, the internal mechanics of control. This is not about superficial tricks. It is about understanding the neuroscience of calm under pressure, the discipline of thinking like a chess player, and the subtle art of controlling the reality of an interaction without saying a word. What you will learn today is how to stop reacting to the world and start making the world react to you. And the transformation begins not with a shout, but with silence. 1. The myth of force. Why true control begins in silence and stillness. Our culture confuses movement with progress, noise with authority. In any meeting room, in any social interaction, who is the focus? Usually, the person who talks the most, who gestures the most, who projects their voice. But that is not power. That is, most of the time, nervousness disguised as energy. It is a status leak. True power operates under a fundamental principle of nature, the economy of motion. Predators at the top of the food chain do not waste energy. Their movements are deliberate, precise, and fatal. Calmness and stillness are not signs of passivity. They are signs of contained power, of a confidence so deep, it does not need to be announced. Shelby is the personification of this principle. Observe how he deals with his enemies. He does not shout to intimidate. He invites them to his office, offers them a drink, and lets them talk. His silence is a weapon. It is a vacuum that the opponent, uncomfortable, feels the need to fill. And by filling it, he reveals his weaknesses, his intentions, his anxiety. This is what we call dominant framing through passivity. By refusing to react, Shelby forces everyone to operate within his reality, at his pace. Now, how do you apply this? Think about the last work meeting or group debate you participated in. The human tendency is to jump at the first opportunity to speak, to prove your worth. The protocol we will apply here is the opposite. It is the observer protocol. In your next group interaction, your goal is not to be the first to speak. It is to be the last to speak on the crucial points. Let the others rush. Listen. Observe the body language. Understand the power dynamics in the room. Who interrupts whom? Who seeks validation? When you finally speak, your comment will not be just another opinion in the chaos. It will be a calculated synthesis, an incisive observation that demonstrates you were not just waiting for your turn to speak. You were analyzing the game. Your words will have triple the weight. This is not about being introverted or passive. It is about being strategic. It is the difference between playing checkers and playing chess. The checkers player reacts move by move. The chess player controls the center of the board, often with silent, still pieces that dictate the flow of the entire game. Your silence becomes a position of power. 2. The science of calm under pressure. How to turn off the reactive amygdala and keep the prefrontal cortex in command. The calmness of a man like Shelby under fire is not magic. It is applied neuroscience. Inside your brain, and mine, there is a constant battle whenever we face a high-pressure situation. A job interview, a tense negotiation, an inevitable confrontation. It is the battle between two parts of you. The first is the amygdala, your primitive brain. It is the sentinel, programmed to detect threats and trigger the fight, flight, or freeze alarm. It is because of it that your voice cracks, your heart races, and your mind goes blank when you are challenged. It is fast, emotional, and reactive. It takes command when you feel attacked and forces you to make mistakes, to leak your status. The second part is the prefrontal cortex. Think of it as the CEO of your brain. It is the seat of logic, strategic planning, and emotional control. It is the part that analyzes the game, thinks 3 moves ahead, and calibrates the perfect response. It is the source of Shelby's authority. The mistake that 99% of people make is letting the amygdala pilot the plane. A provocative comment, a disapproving look, and the amygdala hijacks the system. The result? You react defensively, speak too fast, try to justify yourself. You lose control not of the conversation, but of yourself. You see, Shelby's amygdala also fires. He feels the threat. The difference is that he has trained his brain not to obey it. He has learned to turn off the panic switch and keep his prefrontal cortex in command. And you can too. The tool for this is a 2-step protocol. The first is physiological, tactical breathing, used by elite forces in combat. It is not meditation. It is a control mechanism. When you feel the pressure, the heat rising up your neck, you start the pattern. Inhale through your nose for 4 seconds. Hold your breath for 4 seconds. Exhale through your mouth for 4 seconds. Hold the emptiness for 4 seconds. Repeat. This simple act sends a direct signal to your nervous system. The situation is under control. It breaks the amygdala's panic cycle and returns neurological resources to your prefrontal cortex. The second step is psychological, cognitive dissociation. Instead of experiencing the pressure, observe it like a scientist. Ask yourself, what is happening here? What is the real intention behind this question? What is the desired outcome? You transform from an emotional participant into a strategic analyst. Let's apply this to the real world. You are in an interview and the manager says, "Your experience seems a bit below what we are looking for." The amygdala screams, "Defend yourself, justify yourself." You ignore it. You discreetly apply tactical breathing. You dissociate and analyze. He is not rejecting you. He is testing you. He wants to see how you handle pressure. Your response, now coming from the prefrontal cortex, is calm and reframing. I understand your perception, and that is exactly why I am a smarter bet. I do not bring the bad habits that years in the same industry can create. I bring an ability to learn faster and a determination that a more extensive resume does not always guarantee. You did not react. You led. Calmness is not the absence of emotion. It is the ability to command your emotions so that they serve your strategy instead of sabotaging it. 3. The chess player mental model. The discipline of thinking. 3. Moves ahead in any conversation. In most human interactions, people do not communicate. They just take turns reacting. One person speaks, the other responds. It is a game of verbal ping-pong, driven by instinct. That is why so many conversations end in misunderstandings, in dead ends, or with you feeling like you lost ground without knowing exactly how. Men who operate at an elite level, however, do not play ping-pong. They play chess. The difference is the depth of thought. The reactive player sees only one move, the piece that was just played. The chess player sees the entire board. He does not ask, "What happened?" He asks, "Why did this happen?" He anticipates the next 3 moves his opponent might make and, more importantly, how each of his own potential responses will fundamentally alter the outcome of the game. This is the discipline that separates the pawns from the kings. It is the ability to stop reacting to what was said and start responding to the intention behind what was said. Shelby's response, coming from a mind that plays chess, is completely different. He ignores the bait. Instead of answering the question, he challenges the premise. He might say calmly, "If your men are spending time watching my docks for rumors, I wonder what real threats are going unnoticed in the city." See what he did. He did not defend himself. He did not enter the inspector's game. He changed the battlefield. He made the inspector justify his own competence. It is a counterattack, a masterstroke. This might seem distant from your reality, but it happens every day. At your job, your boss asks in a meeting, "Why is this project not finished yet?" The reactive response is a list of excuses. The chess player's response is different. He thinks 3 moves ahead. The real question is not why, but are you in control? The calibrated response sounds like this. "We faced a specific challenge with the supplier on Tuesday. My team has already implemented a solution, and we are back on schedule to deliver on the agreed date. The challenge, in fact, revealed a flaw in our process that we have now corrected, making us more efficient for the future." This response demonstrates ownership, control, and strategic vision. It transforms a problem into proof of competence. To start building this discipline, practice a mental ritual in your conversations. Before you respond, force yourself to pause and analyze the intention. Silently ask yourself, what is the real question behind this question? What does this person want me to feel or do? And crucially, what response gets me closer to my own goal? This is breaking the cycle of passivity and self-sabotage. It is stopping being a piece on someone else's board and starting to be the player who silently dictates the outcome of every interaction. 4. Frame control. The technique of maintaining your reality without saying a word. In every interaction you have, there is an invisible battle happening. It is not a battle of words or arguments. It is a battle of realities. Social psychologists call this the struggle for frames, or framing. A frame is the lens, the subconscious context through which the interaction is viewed. The question is, who defines this lens? Who is in the position of authority, and who is in the position of a reactor? Who is interviewing, and who is being interviewed? Who is the prize, and who is the suitor? Most people enter a conversation and passively accept the frame that is offered to them. If your boss calls you with a tone of urgency, you accept the frame that there is a problem and I might be to blame. If a client confronts you angrily, you accept the frame that I need to apologize and calm them down. Accepting someone else's frame is to cede your power. Real control comes from the ability to impose your own frame, your own reality, often without saying a single word. This is the power of frame control. It is not about winning the argument. It is about making the other person's argument irrelevant. In your world, this translates as follows. A coworker tries to put you on the defensive in a meeting by questioning your data in front of everyone. His frame is, I am smart, you made a mistake, and now you need to justify yourself to me. The reactive response is to stutter, hastily check your papers, and get defensive. That is accepting his frame. The calibrated response is to remain calm. You maintain eye contact, take a deliberate pause, and then redefine the frame. You might say in a collaborative tone, that's an interesting question. I'm glad you're looking at the numbers as carefully as I am. After the meeting, we can review the source of that data together. For now, let's focus on the main point, which is, with this, you have shifted the frame from confrontation to collaboration. You subtly praised him while postponing the issue on your own terms, maintaining control of the meeting's agenda. You absorbed his energy and redirected it. The most powerful way to practice this begins before you open your mouth. It is through your physical presence, your posture, your eye contact, and most importantly, your use of pauses. The person who is in a hurry, who fills every second of silence, is the person who is reacting. The person who is comfortable with silence, who uses it as a tool, is the person in control of the frame. Before your next important conversation, anchor yourself physically, shoulders back, calm breathing. Decide what your reality will be. You are not there to be judged. You are there to collaborate, to lead, to solve. By controlling your own internal state and your body language, you project a frame of power that others will instinctively feel and respect. 5. The status leak trap. The unconscious mistake of reacting. Immediately that destroys your authority. You can master the strategy, understand the neuroscience, and know exactly what to say. But if you do not stop your status leaks, your authority will always be sabotaged from below. What is a status leak? It is any micro-behavior, almost always unconscious, that betrays your anxiety and signals submission. It is the tell you give to others that under pressure, you can be broken. It is the reason why you feel that, even when saying the right things, you are not taken seriously. It is the root of that feeling of being an imposter. Think of Tommy Shelby. His authority comes not just from what he says, but from what he does not do. He does not fidget. He does not laugh nervously. He does not speed up his speech when confronted. His power is contained. He has no leaks. Now think of the opposite, the man who needs to fill every second of silence with words. The one who, when questioned, immediately launches into a long justification for his actions. The one who takes the bait on every provocation, revealing that his emotional state is in someone else's hands. These are status leaks, and they are fatal to respect. They are the reason you feel stuck in your career or social life, repeating patterns of passivity without understanding how to break them. These habits are not character flaws. They are defense patterns that you have developed, perhaps for fear of being judged or for feeling invisible for a long time. But to build a presence of power, you need to identify them and seal them. The protocol for this is based on a single principle: the deliberate pause as a universal tool. The immediate reaction is the main symptom of low status. It is the sign that your amygdala is in command. The pause is what returns power to your prefrontal cortex. Before answering a challenging question, pause. Breathe. Before you move to fill a silence, pause. Let the discomfort weigh on the other person, not on you. Start doing a silent audit of your own behavior in real time. During a conversation, ask yourself, where are my eyes looking? Are my shoulders relaxed or tense? Am I speaking faster than necessary? Every time you identify a leak, the need to justify yourself, the rush to respond, and replace it with a deliberate pause, you are reconditioning your nervous system. You are teaching yourself on a fundamental level that you are in control. This is not about creating a mask. It is about removing the nervous tics that hide your true confidence. By stopping these leaks, you do not become someone else. You simply allow your natural and unshakable authority to manifest without the interference of the noise of anxiety. Conclusion. What we have decoded today goes far beyond the tactics of a character. We have dissected an operating system for personal power. We have seen that true authority is not born from noise, but from strategic silence. That calm under pressure is not a gift, but a neuroscientific skill that can be trained, keeping your logical mind in command when it matters most. We have learned to abandon reactive communication and adopt the mentality of a chess player, always thinking ahead. We have understood that the reality of any interaction is malleable, and that frame control, often without a single word, is the tool of those who lead. And finally, we have seen how to stop the status leaks that silently undermine the respect you command. Many, upon hearing this, may feel an internal conflict, the fear of seeming fake, calculated, or manipulative. They ask themselves, is this authentic? That is the wrong question. The real question is, your current state of anxiety, your reactivity, your hesitation. Is that your authentic self? Or is it a layer of social blockages and fears that has been imposed on you over the years? The techniques we have explored are not a mask to hide who you are. They are tools to demolish the prison of anxiety, allowing your true confidence, your true authentic authority, to finally manifest without blockages. The ultimate goal is not to memorize a set of tricks. It is about long-term transformation. It is not about what you need to do, but who you need to become. It is the decision to become the man who is not shaken by external pressure, because he has built an internal fortress. The journey begins with a single decision. Which of these principles will you apply starting tomorrow? What is the first status leak you will seal? Leave your decision in the comments below. Sharing your first step is a way of committing to your own transformation. If this in-depth analysis has provided you with value, like the video and subscribe to the channel for more strategies on the psychology of power and social dynamics. Remember, do not be just another piece on the board. Be the hand that moves the pieces.